Hey, welcome to the Black Knight Nation Next Up podcast. I'm Sal Interdonato. We're here tonight with four Katy, Texas football players who are 2021 commits, ready to go to Army Prep or direct to West Point. We have Omarrian Aigbedion. We have Casey Shorter, Taylor Saulsberry, and Shepard Bowling here. Now, Casey, you're kind of the odd man out in this group, right? You were teammates with these guys in high school, but now you'll be teammates with these guys coming up at the next level. And we talked about that with you on an earlier podcast, and we thought let's get everybody together. Now we're missing one Katy, Texas commit, right? Omar.
Yes, sir.
Bill, one of your offensive linemen, is also committed to West Point.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna be playing alongside. Help me out with Bill's last name.
It's Castellanos.
Okay, Bill Castellanos. You're gonna be playing alongside with him at Army Prep, right?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty awesome. So, guys, thanks for coming on tonight. And it's the NFL draft night, and you guys want to spend some time with us on the Black Knight Nation Next Up podcast. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. You guys aren't Cowboy fans, are you?
Yes.
No.
Not at all.
I'm actually grew up a Cardinals fan and not a Cowboy fan at all. So I might have to step out of this podcast right now for a second. First off, I guess we can go through everybody. Let's get to know Shepard and Taylor a little bit more since we've had Casey and Omar on in the past. Just talk to us a little bit about how Shepard. We'll start with you. How did your decision come about with West Point? When did they kind of get into the picture, and what were some of the factors that led to your commitment?
Yeah, well, they had been in the picture really one of the earlier schools that offered me. I think they were the third school to offer me out of all my offers. And so especially being a FBS program, a lot of my offers were FCS. So that was really enticing to me, just a bigger brand of football and really well known and playing one of the biggest games every single year, Army Navy. And that was really just my competitive spirit, really enjoyed that. So that was a big part of it. And also the facilities and the campus, just the football facilities in general, and the facilities are really nice. One of the best stadiums in the country. And I really pride myself also in academics and just to be in such a high prestige school academically. And then along with being able to serve my country and reap the benefits from that, along with helping fight for our freedoms. It really, it just ended up, I would always compare to other schools, and I would always just end up leaning back towards Army for those reasons.
Guys, it seems like it checked off a lot of boxes for you. Taylor, how about you? How's your recruiting story, so to speak?
So West Point, they got in contact with me later on in the season or recruiting process. It was about February when I first talked to them, and they offered me like early March. And I really wanted to go to West Point because joining the military was something I always wanted to do. So, and then my dad was in the Army. I have an uncle that was an officer in the Air Force. And they told me if I'm going to join, I should be an officer. And I thought this would be the best way to do it.
Gotcha. Your dad served in the Army. Did he kind of, is that, I mean, yeah, it's good to continue that, that bloodline through, but what are some of the things he told you about, not necessarily West Point, but the military that interested you?
Well, we never really talked about the military that much, but one thing he would always tell me, because it's basically what he told his brother, because he's the one that was in the Air Force. He told me to join the Air Force. He wanted me in the Air Force, but I always liked the Army more. It's just appealed to me more, and that was like the main thing.
Gotcha. Omar, just to be able, there's going to be 3 of your high school teammates play college football with you. That's really unheard of to a point, especially at West Point, because it's such a national recruiting scene there for West Point, including, they even go into Hawaii, and their kicker is from Hawaii, Quinn Moretzky. So, I mean, yeah, there's that familiarity with these guys. You've known these guys. You grew up and played football with these guys. you know Casey for a while. How much is
Right.
that? You know, you're not obviously West Point is not close to home. You're going a little bit. Talk to me how much comfort that is in knowing you're going to have a bunch of people that you know up there.
Well, originally we started playing as freshmen together, 4 years ago, and being able to continue on the next level with people I already know, people that I trust, is a big deal. We're going pretty far. We're going to be away from home and family and what we're used to. So having brothers we can lean on is a big deal to me.
Casey, how do you know, when do you start building a friendship with these guys? I mean, is it on the football field? Did you know these guys growing up? How do you start building a friendship with Shepard, Omar, and Taylor?
Well, I played against Shepard since Pee Wee ball, so I've known him for a while. And then Omar, he contacted me, wanted to know more about West Point, and I talked to him, and then he introduced me to Bill and Taylor, and I started talking more to them, and then we started more communicating throughout the process.
Gotcha. So Casey and Shepard, you're playing against each other in Pee Wee ball. Shepard, what position are you playing in Pee Wee ball when you first start playing football?
Running back and linebacker, and then I would say me and Casey were one of the better players around our little youth league. His team was a lot better than mine, but I was pretty good.
Casey, can you remember the time where you guys first maybe played on the field and went up against each other, or I mean, some early memories of that?
Yeah, I remember when Shepard got an interception against us, and he was just showboating and just all over the place.
Shepard, you don't remember that, do you?
No, I don't remember the showboating part. I remember scoring touchdowns against them. That's all I remember.
Well, now you guys are on the same team, right? You're going to be on the same team. So. Casey, you were the first to commit, right?
Yeah.
Group. And I guess, like you said, Omar contacts you and wants to know more about West Point. What do you think is one of the first messages you might have told Omar or these guys about West Point and about maybe why you made your decision?
Well, really, we just talked about like the run game and like how it like fits us, and then we also talked about like how much Army has to offer and how like it's going to be rough down the road, but it's going to be worth it in the end.
Yeah. So we might as well Casey, you're going in as a fullback, right?
Yes, sir.
Taylor, you're going in as a wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
Shepard, you're going to play linebacker, right? And
Yes,
Omar,
sir.
you're going to be on the line. You're going to be one of the
Right.
mob. You're going to be one of the mob. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Taylor, I mean, I'm guessing you've seen Army football play. You know they're a run-oriented team. I think we might have even talked about this through text, through direct messages. What do you think it's going to be like playing receiver for Army? Because a lot of your responsibilities is in the run game and maybe not the pass.
I think it'll be a lot like playing at Katy, because we're over here at Katy. We run the ball a lot. We're gonna run the ball first, and then we're gonna pass it. So it's something I'm used to. It just do my job. I get the ball when it's my time.
Gotcha. Shepard, what do you think? What do you like about Army's defense that really intrigued you? Now you're going to get a chance to play it, be a part of it.
Well, one of the best things about the defense is that the offense runs the triple option and they take over the clock. So we get a lot of rest, and being able to do that, I think it's really impactful just because – and I love all the turnovers that happen. One of the leading defenses and highest turnover rates in the country, and I just really enjoy being able to give the offense back the ball.
Absolutely. And Omar, we talked about this a little bit last week about the whole mentality of the offensive line at Army, right? I mean, Obviously when it's run first, I mean, depending on where you're playing, cut blocking, getting to that second level, maybe pancaking a linebacker or defensive back, that's gotta fire up. That's gotta fire you up, right?
Right. The mentality of what's coming in. You see if you can stop it. That's kind of the way Army runs their offense, and that's what I like to hear.
What kind of offense were you? Like you said, Taylor said you guys ran a lot.
Right.
Anything similar to what Army was doing, or no?
I say the run pass ratio is pretty similar, but the offensive formation and scheme is a little different.
Is that what you see, Taylor, in what you guys ran compared to what Army runs now?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Well, hey, it's the NFL. It's the NFL draft tonight, right? And the thing with the NFL draft is now, you see Army football players in the NFL. You see a Cole Christensen with the Chargers. You see Elijah Riley and Brett Toth with the Eagles, and Ali Villanueva. I don't know, Omar. Do you know about Ali Villanueva?
Yes, sir. Coach Tuatele talks about him all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy that's a two-time Pro Bowl tackle that was an Army Ranger. So I mean, his story is incredible, and I don't know, maybe be going to Baltimore Ravens as a free agent. Who knows? That's some talk going on here, and but I mean, what's it to know that there could be an opportunity after West Point to take it to the next level after college. What does that feel like for you guys? What does that play a little bit into this decision, or gets you a little bit excited for going to play at Army, considering how good the team's been in the last couple of years?
Well, I was kind of thinking of, whenever I know that Army's playing on the highest level. I know there's lots of NFL scouts that watch their games. They play on national TV all the time. But originally committing there, that wasn't really my idea. To go to the NFL, it was really to get my degree and serve my country.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking the same thing as Omar. Like that was my mindset when I committed. But at the end of the day, you're at an FBS program, and you want to be on the field, and you want to play, and you want to start. And if you're good enough, and if we develop well enough, and the scouts come looking for us, I mean, if you play well enough, the team's playing well enough, that's the sort of stuff comes to you naturally. So I think it'll be. I'm definitely not opposed to it. That'll be always something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I guess it's always when you're playing football, I guess it's a dream to take it to the highest level that you possibly can, right? And you look at what Army schedule is going to be like when you guys get there. I mean, Shepherd, even the 2021 schedule coming in. I mean, when you're going to Wisconsin, when you're playing teams like Liberty, who was, really good team last year and has a lot of players coming back. Ball State is really good. And we don't even have it talk about the Navy. You guys have talked about the Navy and Air Force games too. I mean, on the schedule, it may not be a conference schedule, but that's a pretty good competitive schedule for a first year, right, Shepherd?
Yes, sir, definitely. That's one of the things that sort of I enjoyed about Army is, although they might not be in a Power 5 conference, I think it's personally better than being in a Group of 5 conference, just because you get to pick your own schedule, and being able to go and travel across the country and play a couple Power 5 teams, especially my first year, Wisconsin, Wake Forest, and like you said, a Liberty and a Ball State that were really good last year. I just really enjoy that competition and wanting to compete against the best in the country.
Casey, is there anybody, have you looked ahead on the future schedules? Is there anybody that you see you want on that schedule that you're like, I can't wait to get a chance to possibly play in that game?
I haven't looked at the schedules actually, but yeah, because I was like deciding like whether I want to go like prep or direct, and just like and then so like I haven't been able to look at the schedules much, but I'll for sure look it out.
Gotcha. Taylor, is anybody on Army's future schedule kind of excite you and get you fired up to play?
I haven't really looked, but if we got to play anybody, I'd want to play U of H because I have a cousin that plays receiver over there.
Nice. Well, a couple of years ago, Army did play.
Yeah.
Right, they did play Houston. You weren't at that game, were you?
No, I wasn't at it. I watched it on TV.
Gotcha. Yeah, that bowl game was definitely in Army's favor. I don't know how that laid out in your family, Taylor, for that day, but that was definitely Army's day. But guys, we talk about the schedules too, but also the bowl games, right? To play the bowl game, to play in the postseason, that's got to be a drive for every player in the program, and the guys coming up too that want to be a part of the program. You see them play West Virginia in the Liberty Bowl. You see them a couple years back beat Houston in the Armed Forces Bowl. You guys have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'll say something real quick. That's one of the things that I really liked about playing at the FBS level when I was comparing to some of the schools that I really liked at the FCS level was there's no bowl games at FCS and FBS. There's always a chance you get those six wins and you're gonna have an opportunity to play for a bowl at the end of the year, and that's really something to look forward to and just such a big deal and always something. As a kid, you're always watching bowl games at the end of football season, college football season, and now to be able to go play in one, that's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think we haven't really dove into this too much, and we might as well do it now. I mean, just you look at, and we talked about a little bit about this, Casey, when we had the podcast before, just what football means in Texas and maybe football means in Katy. And maybe you guys can give us a little bit of a idea about what it's like to play high school football at that level in Texas and play for Katy. And now you see 5 guys from the city or the city school district going on to Army. Maybe Omar, you want to jump in on that?
Yes, sir. I've always said this. Katy ISD probably has some of the toughest competition, in Texas because we have, 3 top-notch teams in our district, that are making playoffs each and every year and going far. So each, just in the regular season, we're constantly playing, the best teams in Texas, and I feel like that's making us better for a postseason run.
Taylor, what's it like growing up playing football in Texas? I mean, are you kind of just born into it, so to speak, or how did you get involved first into it?
Well, for me, we're the other side. I was born on the other side of New Katy, so over there, football was just whatever really. And then about 8th grade, I moved over to Old Katy, then the Katy Junior High and the Katy High School. It completely different. The football culture, it's serious over here.
A little Shepherd, nothing. Friday Night Lights. Does it come true in Texas? I mean, I've seen it on the Northeast of Friday Night Lights, but I don't know if it compares to playing. What's the biggest crowd, Shepherd, you played in front of?
How many do we have at the state championship game? Y'all know, Omar or Taylor?
I'm not
I have
sure.
no idea. I think it
might have been
my 30.
No, it might have been my junior year in the third round. In the third round, we were playing at NRG where the Texans play, and it felt like just about the whole bottom level was filled out with fans and just screaming the whole game. So it really is a different experience than other places in the country.
Right. I feel like the Saulsberry game had quite a few people there too.
Oh yeah, it was sold out, 12,000 stadium. So
yeah.
So you're playing. I mean, in that game that you were talking about, Shepherd, you're talking about maybe 20. Are you playing in front of 20,000? You think, or no?
Probably more closer to like 15. But
Okay.
yeah, the
Wow.
Saulsberry game and even sold out games last year at home. That's at least 7,000 on one side for sure, and however much the other team brings. So close to 8,000 to 10,000 on against a good team.
Yeah, and you guys were able to play through the pandemic, right? So you were able to get in your senior season pretty much in the fall, right? I mean, what was that like? Anybody can jump in here. What was that like to get in that fall season? I mean, you figure Texas football going to find a way to play it when it's supposed to be played, right? So,
right. During our season, it was pretty challenging, with the mask each week, having to get COVID tested. One person getting it, then having to quarantine. It's just a real team effort. Everybody getting it done and everybody doing what they're supposed to do. Stay safe.
do you think that's something that definitely? I mean, you learn a lot from a season like that. I mean,
Right.
maybe you don't take football for granted as much as you did before, where you can just go and hey, throw on the pads and let's practice and play. I mean, how much more, Casey? How much more appreciation did you have for getting in the senior season this year?
A lot of appreciation. We had to miss spring ball, unfortunately, but we carried out, and then going on to the playoffs, we were very fortunate because other teams that got COVID, they were done. They were out of the playoffs, so just very fortunate that we were able to go that far.
You guys obviously being seniors are done with spring. Have finished spring ball. But what's a spring ball like in Texas? I mean, when do you guys get started? Like as early? How early do you guys get started? What is it? Just 7-on-7s, or is there more to it? What's Taylor? Maybe you can jump in. What's a spring ball like?
So we'd start probably. I think we'd start this week, and it's straight up football practice. Probably longer, way hotter, going all day, just as hard as you can all day.
Yeah, that's not something that in some places, in some states, that's not something that happens. Other states in the Northeast are catching up to that, where they can't have the practices and the workouts and have those 7-on-7 competitions. I guess we could wrap this up in a couple minutes, but before we go, I just wanted to see if each of you guys might have tell us what maybe something that you're looking forward to in the next couple of months as you prepare for West Point, whether it be going direct or going prep. What's something that you're looking forward to, or what's something that you'll be doing to get ready for first the cadet training and then the football?
Right.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to waking up early every morning.
Are you guys getting some practice with that or no? I mean, 5:30 sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been trying to get
up
that.
Yeah.
Omar, you've been trying to get up early lately or no?
Yeah, yes, sir. I usually get up around 5:30.
He lying.
I'm not lying.
You're not getting a workout in the morning, are you?
I usually work out in the morning. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. I mean, that's the right way. That's the right approach, really, because it's definitely get a different experience than pretty much most college football players, right? You guys are going to have a little different experience with the military training also.
Right.
Taylor, you're up for the military training. You get any tips from your dad yet, or what do you think about that?
He's had me running every day. I've been breaking in my boots, all that kind of stuff, just getting ready.
He's making you run in boots?
I've run in them a few times to try to get them broken in, but mainly I'm just running around my neighborhood and just regular shoes.
Gotcha. Hey, I think it's going to be pretty good for you to have somebody that to bounce stuff off of, right? I mean, to have somebody in your family that's done at least the military side. Maybe you can give some advice to your buddies here, too. Once you go, what do you think for Casey, Taylor, and Omar? What do you think the experience will be like for you at Army Prep? How do you see that as a benefit for you guys?
I think it'll help because it'll just help ease us in, let us see what it's like, and get ready for going to the actual academy.
Right. I'm kind of looking at it as a learning year. A year to get stronger, faster, smarter, learn the playbook. So when we go direct, we'll be prepared for that.
Gotcha. And Shepard, you're going direct. I mean, you gotta be ready on the go, right? I mean, I guess I was seeing a little bit how Army plays defense. I'm sure you're going to get up to speed with that. I mean, how do you prepare for the Beast Barracks, the freshman boot camp right away? From the start, getting your hair shaved and that kind of stuff. So.
Well, I think that stuff. I mean, my mindset on that is sort of if I'm training to play at the highest level of football you can, I think that'll naturally I'll be prepared and prepare myself for that. And so, really, just trying to make sure I'm on top of the weight room, and especially over the summer, just emphasis on speed, just because the game only speeds. It gets faster and faster the more you play. Just as far as competition and speed and trying to compete. But I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge of coming in as a freshman and trying to have whatever impact I can, whatever the impact the coaches feel like I can give.
No doubt. Hey, guys, really appreciate you jumping on tonight. Great to have you guys together. Sorry we couldn't have Bill on, but, there's other podcasts and stuff like that. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to watch this podcast or listen to podcasts, we are on Apple, we are on Amazon, we are on Spotify for the audio portion of these podcasts. You can follow our Black Knight Nation YouTube page. You could subscribe to that. And we just interviewed today Austin Hill, Army freshman defensive end. We had that interview on. So there's a lot of just a lot of interviews from coaches, players, and commits on all our platforms. We really appreciate you guys sharing your stories with us tonight.
Yes,
And we'll be back soon with another edition of the Next Up podcast. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.